What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Intro Mike, back with another video with the intro is short for entrepreneur. If you guys don't know who I am and you're tuning in for the first time, like I said, my name is Intro Mike. I started a box truck company back in late 2020, early 2021. Ended up venturing over into Hotshot, where I ended up scaling up to 2 trucks. And now I sell commercial auto insurance. So the reason for this video is actually because I have a lot of clients still asking me like the basic steps on how to start a hotshot company. And on this channel in the past few years, I've just never been able to find time, just kind of sit down and make a video like this. So I hope you guys enjoy it. If you guys got any questions, please drop a comment down below. Subscribe to the channel if you want more info like this, and stay tuned. Like I said, if you guys ever need to hop on a call, you guys want a consultation, it's at no cost. We can go over how to start your trucking company if you get, confused or tripped up on any of these things we're going to go over in the next few slides. And yeah, it is a PowerPoint presentation. I know a lot of guys, probably can get bored with it, but I feel like it's better for you to kind of be able to screenshot some of this information to be able to come back to instead of having to listen to the entire video. Also, I'm going to have a lot of links in the description for a lot of the items that we're going to go over for possible vendors, websites to help you when you're actually like filing for your FMCSA application and things of that nature. So like I said, just check the comments and check the links in the description if you need any help finding some of these resources or if you want to get in contact with me. And like I said, it is at no cost. So this is the general outline for starting your authority. These are just kind of like the basic steps that I would do. This is what I'll do. I'll pull up the website that I've used to start 3 businesses. So the first step is just starting your LLC and EIN. So LLC, limited liability company, and then you got EIN for employer identification number or tax ID number. So your LLC is going to be your business name, and then your EIN is going to actually act as like a social security number for that entity type. And then I got the cost. I got in file, but it's supposed to be ink file. So like I said, check the links below if you guys want to find a resource. But like I said, that $100 to $500 range will probably be what it is. It's probably cheaper now. So what I'll do is I'll drag this screen over and kind of just show you guys an example. So this is ink file. Take that out. This is ink file. So if I wanted to start an LLC and put my home state, Georgia, hit start my business. There are a few different packages that you can get. If I'm not mistaken, the only differences between gold and silver, I believe, gold and platinum, is that platinum, it only takes 3 days to file. So if you're kind of in a rush and you want to just get this stuff started ASAP, the platinum will probably be the best. That's what I went with. That's why, it all depends on what state you're in. So if you're in a different state, the prices could also be different. And only advice I got for this is just keep your name simple. Keep your name super simple, something that you don't mind repeating over the phone over and over without confusion. Try to keep away from having apostrophes, too many spaces, and things of that nature. Just keep it simple. Oh, and yes, with this too, by the way, I forgot to say, it does, let's see, it comes also with an EIN too. So this is like being able to do them together. I know you can save money by just getting your LLC. I believe that's like the silver package. You can just get the LLC. And you see the time that it takes, 28 days filing time if you want to do it on your own and wait. And also with the employer identification number, I believe you can get that for free from the Secretary of State. But it's just all up to you. If you can do things like that and stay organized, go for it. If you can't, in my opinion, this is an easy solution. Not financial advice. After that, after you get your LLC and EIN number, I will go ahead and start the business bank account. Some guys think you need to go get a really big Chase, Navy Federal, and then other guys like local credit unions. I did a local credit union, but there's nothing wrong with getting a big name industry either. Then you want to figure out what kind of truck or trailer you're gonna buy, loan, or rent. But yeah, that's just something you want to think about. We're gonna go over that a little bit more into detail in the next slide, so don't worry about it too much right now. Then you want to start your FMCSA application. So this allows you to cross state lines for hire. What I'm going to do too is go over a few things when I'm talking to my clients about issues that you may face when you're actually doing the application. So I'll have links to the application in the description as well. But so I want to go over a few things, then I'll put them on the screen. I'll edit them on here. So for the issuance of active US DOT number, this page is basically just explaining that a US DOT number becomes active only after registration has been granted by the FMCSA. So registration will not be granted without financial responsibility, which is insurance, and process agent filings, which is your BOC-3 blanket of coverage when crossing state lines. And like I said, you are gonna have to get your BOC-3. That's like after getting your insurance. Those are interchangeable. Right when you start your FMCSA application, I believe you can do it right after. Go ahead and get that BOC-3. After you start the application, you want to start getting insurance quotes. In my opinion, there are still some compliant things you have to have, such as an ELD, driver's qualification files, um, spare fuses. Like the safety triangles and things that we'll go over a little later. But this is just the basic steps to start your authority. So some people kind of get confused between starting your authority and being compliant. Those are two separate things. You see how I got general ready to hit the road. Goodness gracious. Getting ready to hit the road. So ordering the ELD is just stated compliant. Like I said, motive keep trucking. Formerly keep trucking is highly recommended. Keep the manual for ELD in the truck. That's something that a DOT officer could ask you for. Just keep it. DOT medical card. It is not a drug test. A lot of people kind of get nervous about getting having to do the medical examination in order to receive the DOT medical card. It's about $100 the last time I went, and it lasts 2 years. So you want to make sure you get a DOT medical card. You will not be compliant without one of those. Then you got driver's qualification files. Usually includes driver's license numbers, date of hire, DOT medical card, drug test results, if applicable. That's for like CDL guys, and safety performance. Then spare fuses for your trucks. You can find these at an AutoZone nearby because that's actually what I did. Paper logs. These are for if your ELD electronic logging device isn't working, you can do paper logs. So they can be used for 8 days out of each month or 30-day period max. You can find these at any truck stop nearby. Super, super common. And a truck DOT inspection. You can get one at Love's Truck Stops. I'm not sure if you can get one at Pilot. I know for a fact you can do Love's because I've done it every single time with Love's. And it's like $50. I believe it's for truck. $50 for the truck and $50 for the trailer. I don't think it's 50 for both. For the most part, this is kind of like a gist of what you'll need in your book. You'll also need to file. You also need to do your UCR. I think it's Unified Carrier Registration, something like that. And that's basically just going to be listing the amount of power units you're going to have. And like I said, guys, if I forgot to put it on here, I will have it in the description. So just be on the lookout for that. Now we're going to go over equipment for Hotshot. So like I said earlier, the most common trucks for Hotshots, of course, are going to be diesel. You got some guys who say, can I use my Toyota Tacoma, I don't know, 1500 to haul those with Hotshots? With a gas truck? I don't think so. I mean, maybe there's some guys who doing it. So the diesel 2500, 3500 is probably going to be the most common truck. Like I said, the most common brand in my opinion would being out on the road is Dodge Ram. Probably because of the Cummins engine, but I'm not giving you as advice. I'm not a mechanic, so do your own research. If you already got an F-250 and you want to pull a hot shot with it, go ahead. That's just up to you. Now the most common trailers, I can kind of show you an example of these. We got, most common. I pulled up Big Tex. I had a Big Tex. Looks like this is I'm trying to see if it's a 25. What is it? Okay, it's a 22 GN, which basically means it's on 10K axles. But that's a CDL trailer. If you're gonna do non-CDL, you probably want like a 14 GN or a 16 GN, and the difference between those are usually that the 14 GN are on 7K axles, and 16 GN will be on 8K axles. So most of the time, if you got a dually, you're gonna have to probably go with the 7. Well, you can get it D-rated. It just depends, but you're gonna be super heavy If you get the 7K axle trailer, then rather than the 8K axle trailer, you'll be a little lighter. Um, and basically, the general rule of thumb for staying under weight, let's just stand under the gross vehicle weight rating of 26,000. So when I was saying 16 GN or 14 GN, just instead of GN, just say 1,000. So if your dually, usually a dually is at 14,000. So that means it limits you on being at 12K left with for your trailer. But what a lot of people do is that they derate the trailer. I had to do it myself. So if you get like a 7K axle trailer, which would be 14,000 GVWR, 14 and 14 equals 28. So of course to get it back to 26, you gotta derate the trailer from 14 to 12,000, so you'll stay compliant. And if you had a 2500, let's say it was, I believe it's commonly like 10,099, 10,000. Let's just say the Ram 2500 is 10,000 GVWR. You could get an 8K axle trailer, which will be at like 15.9 for the GVWR, and now you're at 25.9. So that's super common too. I may have to show like more pictures and labels for you guys to kind of understand it. But if you go to a trailer dealership and kind of explain to them why you need to derate your trailer to stay compliant, they'll understand what you're talking about. Oh yeah, and this is subjective too. I feel like most commonly people get mega ramps or monster ramps, but you can get slide out ramps on a complete 40-foot deck. And I keep saying 40 foot because I feel like if you're gonna do non-city or hotshot, get a 40-foot trailer. Getting the 40-foot trailer is going to save you a lot of headache when booking loads. A lot of time, freight brokers will request a 40-foot hot shot even if they don't need 40 feet of space. So they may only need 33 feet of space, but they're still going to request a 40-foot hot shot. And the most common trailer brands are probably Big Tex, PJ, Diamond C, Gator, Load Trail, things of that nature. A lot of these trailers are pretty common. But for me personally, I never had any problem with Big Tex, so it's just kind of up to you. 4-inch ratchet straps, 2-inch ratchet straps. You can get them bolted, have a sliding winch, have a sliding winch straps, or in auto straps. You probably want to get some of those too. So this is my T products. I may have a link in the description to save you money on it. I don't know if I still do for this channel. I'm not gonna lie. I may have to get it up. I may have to get it updated, honestly. So let me do this though. Yeah, we got some. Let's just put 4-inch winch straps. All right. So for me personally, when I was doing flatbed hot shot, myself, I would usually go. I think I had the red ones at one point. The only brand that I used to really do, I think, because it used to be cheaper, was the Kendine. And that looks like mainly about what they have. And then make sure you guys get the flat hook. I mean, I don't know, and that's just so you can actually hook it onto the sliding rails. Take that off of there. But yeah, so that's just a small tip. But yep, this is what they look like. I got a black pair before. Most people you'll see probably with yellow because it's pretty standard at truck stops. Um, and red and blue. They're pretty, but the blue are usually always sold out. Just make sure you don't buy them at truck stops. Like you will save so much more money. So ratchet just means you basically got to crank them down. So I guess this is the actual ratchet. And like I said, again, make sure you do flat hooks. There's nothing wrong with the chains. Actually, for the auto hauler straps, you'll see they'll have like a 5/16, grade 70 chain on it, which isn't bad. But it's just way more convenient for the sliding rail track for you to do ratchet straps with flat hooks. So let's see if we can get an example of one like this one. So yeah, this is something probably I go for when looking for straps. That flat hook. And yeah, just make sure they're about 30 feet. That's pretty standard. Let's go ahead and look up chains. Pretty sure you guys just heard me go over 5/16. So you guys do not have to get them on here. It'd probably be a heavy ass package. But you probably can still. So you need chains and ratchet binders. So chains are kind of pretty common sense. 5/16 20-foot grade 70 binder chain. So these are perfect. This is what you'll need. You can do either 5/16 or 3/8. 3/8. So these are the type of ratchet binders that I bought from them. So they're pretty good. I've never had any problems with them. You just want to make sure you always got a can of WD-40 or some type of something to loosen these things up sometimes, because they can get rusty when water gets in it. So yeah, that's pretty good information. Let's see. But like I said right here too, you can also order them on my T or buy some at Home Depot and Lowe's near you. So now the ratchet binders may be a little harder to find. The ratchets, you may be able to find them at like a Tractor Supply, but usually those will probably be harder to find. You can, but it'll be harder. Now the chains though, the chains are pretty easy to find at like a Tractor Supply, Lowe's, Home Depot. Chains are pretty good. And then lastly, the tarps. So these are super subjective too. So just think about it like this: you got 4-foot tarps, 5-foot tarps. I think Monty has those 6-foot drop tarps and 8-foot drop tarps. Just know the bigger the tarps, common sense says, the heavier the tarps. So us as hotshot truckers, we don't really enjoy tarping that much. We got some guys that really take pride in their tarp working. That's good. But if you could stay away from tarping a load, you would. But that's not me saying don't go get tarps. So just think about that when you're thinking about getting the size of the tarps. They're heavy. They're heavy, especially when they're wet. They can be a mess. So what we'll do. So that's an example of a tarp. Got plenty of tarps that you can order on here. So yeah, just take your time and know what you're buying. You know what I mean? Just realize like that last one is saying it's 24 foot long. So if you got like a 40-foot hot shot, know it's going to take 2 of those to cover the whole trailer, whichever tarps you get. A lot of people run on average of probably about 3 to 4 tarps, just so they can cover the entire load. Let's say you want to have 2 sets like I did, like 2 5-foot drop, 4-foot drop tarps and 2 6-foot drop tarps. You want to have enough to cover the entire trailer, basically. And then you can kind of, for those DOT safety kits like fire extinguisher, first aid, reflective triangles, and things of that nature, there are different websites you can go to. I may link this one down below. I can't remember the one that I did, but I kind of just ordered it off one of these generic sites, instead of just going to Lowe's and trying to find all of this stuff, or a truck stop, because it'll be way more expensive. Just make sure you're getting the right grade fire extinguisher and you should be fine. And also for those tarps too, make sure you get bungees. I didn't go over that part. This video isn't meant to go over like every little thing. I'm just trying to kind of give you guys a broad synopsis of the things you will need. So please forgive me if I miss out on some things. It's a lot of information for sure. So now I got best vendors for Hotshot. So for ELD, that's your electronic logging device. Motive or Keep Trucking will probably be the most consistent ELD provider. Samsara is pretty good too. I had that when I was doing box trucks. But honestly, yeah, ELD for Motive, can't go wrong with them. Honestly, in my opinion, a lot of insurance providers like Motive. Progressive gives you a pretty good discount, up to 20% for having Motive. So I would say if you're new and looking for an ELD, go Motive or Keep Trucking. That's just my opinion. Now for load boards, DAT and truck stop, pretty consistent for hot shot. Those are probably the only 2 load boards you'll ever need. I would for sure try to keep both of these if I could. So there's nothing wrong with truck stop. Truck stop is pretty consistent for open deck freight in general. So those are probably hand in hand the 2 best load boards for hot shot trucking. I'm in insurance here at Charles Stream, man. That's who I work for now. Like I said, you guys probably remember Daniel last time he came on the channel. Super grateful to have him around. Great guy, great company, and I'm looking to grow with him. So we help you start your business and stay in business. That's our motto. We're not here to just sell a policy. We're here to actually help you guys and consult you guys through truck. A good question is why people would usually go with an agency. You can get things faster. We're more knowledgeable about trucking because we got a lot of people who actually did it in this company. You get an agent and a mentor on how to start your business, and most importantly, how we can help you stay in business and shop around for good quotes. And that's another option, more options to shop around for the best quote possible. Like it says here, you can book a free consultation for starting your trucking company. The link will be in the description and the comments. And if you guys need a quote form too, like I said, just everything will be in the description. And for factoring, RTS is who I use, so that's just my referral partner. That's who I believe is pretty good for factoring. What is factoring and why do you need it? So freight factoring is the action of selling your business outstanding invoices, meaning the loads that you actually book for a rate confirmation, to a factoring company for cash. So this provides you with immediate cash instead of waiting for your invoices to be paid. And if you're still confused after reading this, let's just go over a basic factoring, why you need factoring. So most trucking companies have bills that come out every 7 days, like fuel, or every 30 days, like a rental payment for your trailer, a loan for your truck. When you book loads with freight brokers, which we'll learn a little bit more when we, go over booking loads and that things of that nature. When you book loads with a freight broker, they don't get paid until 60 to 90 days most of the time after you actually deliver that load off. So you pick a load up, you drop a load off, that load isn't paid on right away. So since freight brokers take so long to actually pay, same for the actual receivers, shippers and receivers, factoring has made a way for basically people to get paid expedited, get paid the next business day, as long as they could show proof, which would be like a valid bill of lading or BOL. You'll learn more about that when you get out on the road, and an actual invoice. So all you do for, let's say an example, if I dropped the load off, I would invoice them a rate confirmation that I got from the freight broker to transport the load, and then the BOL that's signed by the shipper, receiver, and myself. So once I send them those two things, let's say it was for $1,000. Most factoring companies charge 4%. Just stay with me. They would pay you $960. And when that $1,000 comes back in 30 to 60 days to the factoring company, because that's who they invoiced it to, or invoiced it to from the freight brokerage that you did it with, they'll get the $1,000. You'll get paid $960 for the 4% of the 96% of the $1,000, and they pocket the difference. They basically pocket the 4% for being able to pay you quicker. That's the gist of it. There are some freight brokers who allow expedited pay, like 3 to 5. They call it like quick pay. You don't necessarily want to do that. If you can factor a load, factor it. You'll get it faster, usually at a lower percent. And you don't want to be doing business with brokers with a bad credit score. So I may need to make a completely different video on like the vendor side, like how to use the load board, go a little bit deeper into freight factoring so you can understand it. But this video is just kind of how to start. I don't want to confuse you guys. Just know you're going to need a factoring company if you don't have a lot of cash. Okay. All right. And this is just we're getting towards the end of the video. This is like a basic, because a lot of people just want to see an outline. So let's say this was July, you started your LLC in July. I would start the FMCSA application as soon as I got my LLC and EIN number like approved and everything. So that's why I did it 4 days afterwards. So if you did an expedited filings on Ink File like I did, you can start the FMCSA application a few days afterwards. Now once you do that application, it'll take you about 45 minutes to an hour. It's a very boring application. There's a lot of things you can do to mess up on it, but don't be afraid. Any mistakes that you make on the FMCSA application, you can fix it. So I would file for the BOC-3 and start getting insurance quotes about, like I said, about a few days to a week after starting the FMCSA application. Once you got, because you have to be approved for it. Now once you do that, if quotes come back, fine, start getting equipment or start, looking at putting your down payment down and things of that nature. And depending on when you get the truck or when you're looking to get the truck, put me down there. That's when I will pay the insurance down payment to get the authority started. So if there are any other questions you guys would probably have pertaining to how to start the trucking company, with non-CDL Hotshot, there are a lot of things I would I kind of skimmed over, like the GVWR issues, freight factor, and things you probably don't understand. Remember, booking a 15-20 minute call with me is completely free. If we need to extend it and I got time another day, it's completely free. So if you got questions on anything that I'm saying, take advantage of it. Take advantage of reaching out to me, reaching out to our team too, and getting your answers ASAP. Honestly, just getting your answers. All right, so this is the next video idea, man. I know a lot of people who are on the road still and they use freight dispatchers probably want to know how to book loads with DAT. We're going to go over cost per mile, navigating the load board, truck load versus less than truck loads, how to book partials, and lastly, negotiating tactics. If you guys are really interested in the content or something like this, just hit the like and subscribe button and hit the notification bell on the subscribe button if you want to see it. But other than that, guys, that's all I got for now. I'm pretty sure I probably skipped a few things. Well, I'm pretty sure I didn't get every single detail. So like I said, I really want to harp on the fact that if you guys need help, especially with insurance, make sure you guys book a consultation down below. If you guys got any questions, I want to be a resource to you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.